I handed it to you on a silver platter. I told you exactly where it was going to go. It went exactly where I said it was going to go. And now we need to talk about what's going to happen next. Terra Luna Classic is on an uptrend right now. We're actually seeing it start to play out. Very beginning, but I gave you the goal. I told you exactly where it was going to go. It did exactly what I told you it was going to do. Now we need to predict what's going to happen next. I'm going to show you the charts and you'll have a better idea. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Before we get started, make sure that you sign up at terracasino.io. Remember, I'm giving away 2 $100 gifts. So if you haven't already, today is going to be your final day. I am just back from vacation. So let's get this over with and done with, and let's get you rewarded with what you deserve, which is free money. Oh yeah, baby. If you want to trade any coin on the Terra Luna Classic network, Terraport.finance is the simplest, easiest way to do that. You don't have to go hunting. You don't have to go looking. At best, you hit the swap button down here. You pop it into degen mode in case you want to get the Believe token, which is available on this platform. Boom, just like that. So what are you waiting for? Go get it today. Okay, let's talk about what's going on in Commonwealth. Burn to earn future redemption program, and then burn LUNC with synthetic tokens. Another idea and principle that came up here. I'm a strong believer in LUNC. It can become exciting again, but something extraordinary has to be done. Not really, but yeah, I mean, I understand what they're saying. What they want is they want some kind of, shot in the dark, wild, boom thing happening right there. Project Forge is built on a simple premise. You permanently burn Luna Classic, and in return, you get immediate amplified exposure to LUNC. The process is direct. A user sends their LUNC to the Forge smart contract, which does 2 things. In a single irreversible transaction, 100% burn, the contract immediately sends the LUNC to the official burn address, permanently removing it from the supply. Minting a synth, the contract mints a new synthetic token back to the user's wallet. Users can choose their level of conviction, LUNC 2x, LUNC 5x, LUNC 10x. This mechanism is a one-way street. You cannot redeem LUNC back for LUNC through the protocol. The burn is final. This brings us to the most important question: how leverage is maintained. 5 to 10x leverage will be maintained through an elastic supply algorithm. At regular intervals, the protocol checks the price of LUNC. It then automatically adjusts the number of LUNC tokens in every wallet to match the leverage platform performance. If LUNC goes up 5%, your 10x balance increases by 50%. If it goes down 5%, your balance decreases 50%. How you realize value: the LUNC tokens are your reward, and their value is realized on the open market. So to take profits or exit a position, you would go to a DEX, find the liquidity pool, look for a trading pair on your asset, for example, LUNC 10x, LUNC 10x. There has to be liquidity for that, so I'm not sure that this is going to fly. I get what they're saying. I understand synthetic asset. However, there has to be a pool for that. So, I'm not sure how this would actually play out. And look, I don't think that the burn, I do think that burns are necessary. I think they're very important. I think there are processes going forward that are going to give us burns, but I don't know that this, I don't know that this one works. By the way, I'm looking at it on the blind basically and trying to figure it out as I go. And I think we just made something a lot more complicated in the layman term than it might need to be. Now, that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that it's new. And, we'll see what happens right there. What other technical challenges? So biggest problem, I think, is if we're talking about, for example, if the synthetic token is LUNC X10 or LUNC X5 or LUNC X2, well, there has to be a liquidity pool for that specific crypto, not Luna Classic. It has to be that that leverage position. And if there's no liquidity, then you can't cash out. This is rife with problems and adds a new layer in that I think makes this prohibitive, because then it requires having liquidity over on each and every one of those. And look, we know that crypto is a wealth transfer from one person to another. I mean, that really is what it represents at this point. So I'm not sure that this is going to be viable or doable. I mean, again, who maintains the liquidity? It's a question that probably should be answered here. And, we'll see how it goes. Validators are starting to see a decline. If you look at this, we're starting to see, we're down 16 billion here. We're up 19 here, but let's go down the list here and look at the red. And some of these just very large amounts. And by the way, there's no liquidity staking, or there's no staking pool that's going to give you higher yields than what you're currently getting on station. If we go to yield right here, at best you can look for yields of less than 1%. You got one right here with KuCoin you can stake and earn, and you got a flexi yield here that's between 0.5 and 3%. That doesn't look so I think there's going to be a massive sell-off, or at least some kind of sell down to this process. I mean, when you start to come down this list and you start to really, really pay attention and look, you see a little bit of inward flow on a few of them, but it's very small. So I think we got a crazy sell-off getting ready to happen over here. And why would we have a crazy sell-off? Well, because it did exactly what I told you it was going to do. Is it finished with its move yet? Of course not. But where was it going? I told you it was going into this box. And I told you that probably 2 weeks ago. And guess what? Today, it's in the goddamn box. Okay? Wicked up a little bit over to that 72 range like it did previously, got rejected back in. What did I say a couple of days ago? I said the best thing that could happen right now would be a break into this range and then a back test down here, and then from that back test down here, then a breakout from there. And what are we getting? We're getting the breakout right there. We're getting the back test right here. And now we're getting the potential for a big move towards that upside. Now, where is the next level? And, that one's going to be, we're going to zoom this out just a little bit. We're going to take a swing at it. We're going to throw our liquidity up here, and we're going to say that the next move is to the 9 range, which corresponds with this top sort of range right here, gets us a little bit further in. So what it would look like would be a break up into, probably break at about 8, right? And then get a break above. And what we need is that break above. So that's what we're looking to see happen right now. Again, none of this is life-changing. This is just the start of a big rally and a significant rally. So this is what we're looking for as a play out. Now, remember, the market is volatile. Just because I'm drawing this on a screen doesn't mean that it's going to happen. We've drawn it before and it's happened like clockwork. We've drawn it before and it hasn't happened like clockwork. This one, I believe I told you that I thought this was going to play out like over here, and it's not playing out over here. It's still ranging down here, but we have reached, let's get rid of that. And then let's just consider this, like we're looking at the heart line, just kind of right in the middle here. And we look at it from that kind of standpoint, and that's about the middle right there. So it looks like we're going to have some significant movement. We'll break down a little bit again, probably at 8, then 9, and then we'll break down to that, or we'll break upwards to dropping that 0. But why is it not happening as quickly as we would like? And the answer to that is, let's go look around the horn. Bitcoin is up almost 2% today. Crypto is up 23 billion, but look at this. Ethereum down. We're down 12 billion on the non-Bitcoin. Everything other than Bitcoin looks like it's starting to bleed just a little bit. So we're seeing that capital rotation, except one bright spot, Solana. Solana's up 3% on the day. Bitcoin's up 1.5%. You've got some small caps that are having a little bit of move here, but when we go down the list, VET down 3%, XRP down 1%, Ethereum down 2%, Ondo down 2%, SWI down 1%, OM down about 7% on the day, API 3 down 7%. API 3 ran pretty hard, so it's expected to see some of that, but SHIB down 2%, Pepe down 2%. Going down this list, it's a lot of red right now, and that red just means, again, capital rotation. What are we looking for? We're looking for that big blow off on Bitcoin so that the money continues its move down here. Again, capital rotation. Did we see capital rotation come into microcaps? No, we did not. Did we see it come into mid caps? Only slightly. Where are we at? Mid cap. So what we'll see, and what we did see is, realistically, we've seen a move here since the beginning of July from the mid 5s up into 7. Okay. And, we break that down. That's about a 25% move, right? So, we look at it from here to here, 31% right now is the total move. And where did we settle? We settled right there at the top of this range, which is exactly 25%. So if you bought the bottom, you're up 25%. That's going to feel really good. Now, if you bought way up here and you continue to DCA your way down, you don't feel as good. And those people probably going to sell. Those people are going to probably fight the whole way. Okay. So, what we're looking for now, is a continuation of this move. Going to take a few days. Capital rotation. Now, what would that look like? Let's go over here to the total, and let's take the easiest piece here, and that's going to be global liquidity. Global liquidity, as you see, continues to spike. We continue to see enormous moves in capital liquidity. And guess what? The one thing that I've been talking to you about is this move right here, this little breakdown that we just had. All right, it's reversed, and we're getting more money coming into the market here. So we're about to go touch that all-time high one more time. And what does that mean? Well, that means it's not over. That means we're going to continue with upside momentum. We are not done yet. This market is continuing to soar. We've got a couple more months of inflow in this market. So you're about to see an opportune moment for a breakout. I don't know that it will happen, but we are looking at a continuation of this move, and it's only a matter of time before mid-caps start to get fed. Now, as volume goes, we're at 25 million, which is okay. It's not great. Look, we need $100 million a day to really start to see a good amount of burn, a good amount of volume. We had 375 million. We're 10 days away from Binance doing another burn, but 375 million just not enough. When we look at volume from Binance and we check it out, now we're starting to see an uptick. You can see right here, 30% uptick in volume. And this is for this is only for the day, by the way. It's not for the month. I would like to see what it looks like on the month and start to do some comparisons on a monthly basis so that we get a better idea of what the burn looks like. But I don't think there's an easy tracking mechanism right now for that. Or if there is, I don't know what it is. I'll start to look for it. But we're at least seeing what we really would want to see is we want to see about 50 million a day in Binance alone. That gives us a lot of confidence in what we're doing. And right now we're getting about 7 million. So hopefully see a little lift in that. Also, when it comes to USTC, we're also up and higher, trading higher than we were before. Now, what happened there? Well, I don't see it, by the way, but guess what? We did exactly what I told you we were going to do. Now, did it exactly wick on that? No, it doesn't have to. It's got to be really close, right? So what do we get? We got the exact perfect play out that I told you we were going to get. Now the question is, can we break above? Now, what I like about this structure is this. Zoom in on it just a little bit. We're looking at it on a daily, so it's not perfect, but if we just consider, we got this little thing right here, and then we've got this right here. That is a bull pennant that's playing out right now. Bull pennant playing out is going to give us that next move. And what is that next move? Well, that next move would most likely be right there, break us out above 2 cents. So I think that we're in the bullish narrative. It's just a matter of time now before we really start to get that breakout. And I do want to point out, we're about to get a golden cross here. That golden cross probably going to happen in about 2 to 3 days time. And then boom, significant move. Every time we get a golden cross here, golden cross, boom, significant move. Golden cross, boom, significant move. When we get that, that's what happens. So hopefully we're going to see that happen. Now, that's going to be the same thing with Luna Classic. You can see that it's starting to happen. It's not the same, but it's not 3 days away or 4 days away, but it'll get accelerated because if USTC takes off, guess what? Luna Classic is going to get drug along with it. And we see this enormous uptrend that's happening right now, and we see this kind of playing out like that. So, you know, around middle of August, it looks like maybe golden cross. It could be a little bit crazier, based on, you know, some kind of wild movement. We get a move up here into that 9 range, then that's going to force this thing up even higher, which is going to mean the crossover happens a little bit quicker. And then again, what happens when we get a golden cross? We get a golden cross, boom. We get a golden cross, boom. So, you know, that's what we're watching for. That's what we're looking for. And again, we need that capital rotation down into the mid caps to really give us a chance to kind of soar and break out. We haven't reached that yet, but we are getting so much closer. And it's going to start with Bitcoin doing one more surge, and then the rotation of liquidity coming back into large altcoins like Solana, which is broken above 200, like Ethereum, which is very close to, it was 3,800 just recently, went all the way up to, what's that number, 3,860 basically. So we are in that moment where we start to see higher moves. So we need to break above over here. That we really need to break above there. And by the way, again, I told you before, 125 Ethereum is what you need to be a millionaire. If you don't have that, you know, I don't know. But 6,000 is going to be the new target. That's going to be that 127 ratio on Fibonacci. I don't know that we make it to 8,000. I'm starting to get nervous about that real breakout and that real escape velocity. Doesn't mean we're not going to get, doesn't change anything fundamentally about the market. Okay. Just means that Ethereum won't get as high as, what I initially thought. Because I originally thought it was going to be 8 to 12,000. I'm not feeling it right now. I'm looking at this and there's just so much resistance here. At best, we need a crazy announcement from the Trump administration that Ethereum staking is now live. And if that's the case, then we'll maybe break out. But again, 6,000 seems to be the magnet area right now. So, we'll see what happens. But none of it changes, by the way. That's still going to be a huge amount of capital flowing into altcoins, and that will lead to us blowing up. That's where I think that 40x comes into play. So, as far as burns go, 219 million burns, nothing really. I mean, we're not really. Again, this is our on-chain sort of burn parameter here. We had 48 million yesterday, which was a decent day, but 29 million day before, 20 million day before that. Just not very much. We need to have a lot more burns, a lot more attention, a lot more of everything. But we're at 407. When these people start to sell, by the way, let's be very, very clear. In the event that we have a massive dump, because people are selling off billions or they're unstaking billions on the station platform. And if that happens and we get that massive sell-off, guess what? 1.5% of that's going to be burned. So, I'm not really annoyed by it. I got a feeling that all of this unstaking, all of this kind of stuff is going to lead to a lot of transactions. When there's a lot of transactions, then guess what? People think that there's money on the table, okay? So they're going to be flipping this. And as new money comes in, they'll be taking profit along the way. But that's going to lead to excessive amounts of burns. Hopefully, as long as we can convince them to be on-chain, then we're good to go. Or move it from wallet to wallet and stuff like that. We might see some crazy burns coming. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you ready for this big move? It's going to be slow, but I think it's going to be, we're going to see it start to rapidly increase as we go. But we're here. We're finally in that spot where altcoin season could break out at any moment. So it's not financial advice, but I'm always right.